your goddamn knees.
Hey, I'm a cop. Why you acting like that? I'm a cop.
Then you'll listen to me when I tell you to get on your fucking knees.
No.
Ever touch me again.
Sir.
Get the off.
Sir.
Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. You have a problem? Fuck. You grabbed me. Dude, I have a fucking law enforcement ID. You, sir, are a disrespect to our profession this evening.
Here are moments when police officers had to turn on their own colleagues, starting with this case where tribal officers found themselves at odds with jail staff and turned what should have been teamwork into a heated clash.
The Oklahoma County Jail requesting more units.
You shut the You gotta put your hands on him? Don't put your hands on him.
On December 18th, 2023, this confrontation erupted at the Okmulgee County Jail over custody of a non-native suspect. And the two opposing parties were tribal police from the Light Horse Police Department and jail staff. But what started as an attempt to serve an arrest warrant quickly turned into a heated clash.
I'm not taking the movie. You guys are taking it. I'm not taking it. County Central, do not roll my pre-book into Sally Port door.
Well, we can stay here all day.
That's what we're going to do until you take him out of my building.
I'm not taking him.
Sir, I'm not taking
You're the one committing crime, not
No,
us.
I'm not, sir. I have not accepted him in my facility yet. He is still in your custody.
Light Horse officers, responsible for enforcing laws among tribal members, had arrested the suspect days earlier. Because the suspect was non-native, jurisdiction fell to the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office. However, jail officials resisted, asserting that the suspect fell under the Sheriff's Office's jurisdiction.
Open this.
While the sheriffs were locked outside, the real problem started when these officers put their hands on the chief.
Hey, you better take your hands off of me before you get that whip.
And since the sheriffs were unable to intervene, they watched helplessly from outside. But the confrontation finally reached its peak when the sheriff entered behind the jail staff.
Nope.
Out of my building, gentlemen.
You're gonna go with us, I promise.
See, you keep putting on him.
Hands off of me.
Don't
you put your hands on me.
That's all my dealing.
You put your hands on me first.
Exactly, that's a few else. Not Light Horse.
This is going too.
They're refusing to take it.
Yeah, we don't recognize if you already exist.
Okay, it's the state of Oklahoma.
That's not an option.
It is the director saying the law. The director of Fleet?
Charlie, please come here.
Or the director of your jail? Okay, there's a big difference there.
Charlie, listen.
The tribal officers were ultimately forced to leave the premises, but the fallout was far from over. Days later, an arrest warrant was issued against a jail staffer accused of assaulting a tribal officer during the altercation. In this next case, an off-duty officer betrayed the badge and the trust of his fellow deputies by trying to evade justice.
Your goddamn knees.
Hey, I'm a cop. Why you acting like that? I'm a cop.
Then you'll listen to me when I tell you to get on your fucking knees.
On June 12, 2022, a high-speed pursuit in Key Largo, Florida, ended with a surprising twist when the driver claimed to be a Miami-Dade police officer. The chase began when a Monroe County deputy clocked this white Chrysler speeding at 108 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. And despite commands to pull over, the driver recklessly accelerated to over 110 miles per hour before finally stopping.
How many people in the car? Get out of the car! Get out of the fucking car!
Get out of the car right now. Out of the car, I can see hands.
Hands up in the air!
Hands up in the air right now. Turn around, turn around. Turn around, do not...
When the driver, 26-year-old Donovan Rojas, exited the vehicle, he presented himself as an off-duty Miami-Dade officer driving an unmarked agency car.
You used to work for Miami-Dade.
Why you acting like that, man?
Stand there. 10-11. One in custody.
I'm acting.
Be quiet. Don't say another word. You hear me?
The deputy quickly noticed signs of intoxication, glassy eyes, slurred speech, and the distinct odor of alcohol. But when the deputies decided to search his vehicle, they weren't expecting this.
Holy fucking shit.
He's for real.
Jesus. Sarge, I can't see it. Well, that wasn't on when he passed me.
No, he's not on.
No, he's drunk.
They confiscated 2 Glock firearms, a Miami-Dade police ID and badge, a body-worn camera, a tactical vest, and other law enforcement gear. The deputy then questioned Rojas, who appeared defensive and accused the officer of targeting him unfairly. But when asked to perform field sobriety tests, Rojas outright refused but decided to offer some unsolicited advice.
Boss, what's your first name?
Don.
Don?
Donovan.
Donovan. That's your first name?
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to perform field sobriety exercise to dispel my suspicion you drink ready to drive?
Yes, sir.
No. Okay.
He then lectured the deputy on the supposed code among officers. And as you watch further, you'll be shocked to hear his claim of letting the deputy off the hook if their roles were reversed.
Bro, we're supposed to take care of our own, bro.
Yeah, we are.
Nigga, like, I've been doing this shit for 6.5 years, bro.
And if I came to your county and I put you in this position,
Yeah, I'll take you home, like,
you take me home.
of course.
You take me home after your sergeant shows up on scene
Hell
and everybody's
yeah.
got cameras?
This is Miami-Dade, baby. We take care of you. Like,
Yeah?
this is what we're supposed to do.
But this deputy wasn't about to let him off the hook. Rojas was charged with felony fleeing and eluding an officer and misdemeanor driving under the influence, and issued citations for both offenses, along with a written warning for speeding. While that officer ran from accountability, this next case shows a sheriff undermining his own colleague during a routine traffic stop.
You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you.
Yeah, I'll arrest you right.
On June 24th, 2022, what started as a routine traffic stop in Hiawassee, Georgia, quickly turned into a heated showdown between 2 officers of the law. Sergeant James of the Hiawassee Police Department pulled over a vehicle after observing it driving recklessly.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Doing well in yourself?
I'm doing all right.
What's your hurry? You're very recklessly from the city all the way here, man. In and out of traffic, not using turn signal. Man, I watched you. It took me this long to catch up to you.
I'm sorry.
You were 70 plus.
I didn't think I was that bad.
I checked you at 65.
While speaking to the driver, James asked why he was speeding, to which the driver apologized and claimed he needed to pick up his medication.
You gonna try to kill people over medication?
No, well, it helps with my anxiety.
If that car in front of you would have slammed on brakes, you would have caused a wreck right here. What kind of medication is it?
It's for bipolar and anxiety.
Okay, I don't think that medicine would make you drive the way you were driving.
No, because it's starting to wear off. I was expecting to be home all night. And I'm taking the medication.
Well, maybe you don't need to be driving at all.
No, as long as I'm on my medication.
Well, why don't you take your medication with you?
Because I expected to be home.
Hang tight.
James issued a traffic citation and was wrapping up the stop. But what he didn't expect was an uninvited guest, the town's county sheriff, Chris Henderson.
All right, be careful.
Sir, got a question.
Yes,
Come on. Inside the city or out here?
just right here.
Okay.
I pulled
That's all I
Go
need
pull
to
the
do.
video at
Okay.
Valero.
However, what Sheriff Henderson did after this short interrogation did not suit his position.
Do it.
Charges
Do
against
it.
your ignorance.
Do it, Ode.
Go for it.
Do it. There's cameras at Valero and there's cameras at Napa that sees me pulled out.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your boy.
Talk to you, fuck
Do
boy.
it.
You a fuck boy.
Thank
And
you.
a fuck.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
This wasn't just a personal clash. Reports later revealed long-standing tensions between the Hiawassee Police and the town's county sheriff's department over jurisdiction. In fact, an audio recording surfaced where Sheriff Henderson allegedly instructed his deputies not to associate with Hiawassee officers, calling them enemies. While the previous clash was verbal, this officer showed that rank wasn't enough to sidestep protocol when his own partner stuck to the rules.
Really?
On June 20th, 2023, a Henry County officer in McDonough, Georgia, pulled over this Dodge Charger speeding down the road at 96 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. But this speeding driver was the chief deputy of the Henry County Sheriff's Office. So after taking Yarbrough's license, he retreated to his cruiser and made a phone call to a colleague.
Hello?
Guess who I just pulled over?
Who?
Yarborough. I just clocked this at 96 in a 35.
What was the issue? I mean, why is he speeding?
No reason. He's in an unmarked car. He just got a high horsepower car and decided he wanted to play.
It's your traffic stop. You do what you think you should do. I mean, I'm not telling you one way or the other. You do a 96 and a 35.
Okay. Well, you know I don't care for him, so I'm gonna ride his.
When his colleague responded nonchalantly, the officer decided to stick to protocol. Moments later, the officer handed Yarborough the citation while maintaining professionalism.
If you would sign right here. It's got a court date, time it must appear.
Yes, sir.
Please slow down and have a safe day.
Yes, sir.
While Georgia's super speeder law could have added a hefty $200 fine to the ticket, the citation issued to Yarborough only required a court appearance. Later on, Henry County Sheriff Reginald Scandrett suspended Yarborough for 40 hours without pay. Moving on to the next case, where a jurisdictional misunderstanding made officers pit against each other in a moment of crisis.
You have no authority. You're not gonna fucking tell me what to do, motherfucker. You're not gonna get in my sheriff's face, just like you told me.
On January 30th, 2024, tensions between the Lexington Police Department and the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office hit a boiling point in Lexington, Oklahoma. And it all started when a Lexington police officer pulled over a vehicle speeding through town.
Hello.
Sheriff Davidson, I'm going to SWAT call out.
Okay, sir, just pull you over. Could you do an 85 and a 55?
I was going to
where?
SWAT call out.
Where we going?
SWAT call out right over here.
I didn't know we had one.
We have an armed guy barricaded in the house. Used to be a police officer. And
Where at?
right down here on...
Here in Lexington?
Yeah.
We have an armed person, but we don't know about it. Okay, I'll call our chief and let him know.
This driver was none other than Cleveland County Sheriff Chris Amison, who was rushing to a SWAT call. Caught off guard and unaware of any critical operation, the officer called his chief to clarify the situation. Minutes later, Lexington Police Chief Ronnie Johnson arrived at the supposed standoff.
We've realized that I'd like to know what's going on in my own damn city.
We would have notified you, sir.
We would have?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I've been at the I've been down there at the PD all fucking day.
According to the call, it says Lexington was notified, they refused to respond because of our call.
Okay, I don't know who the fuck said that.
First of all, sir, I know you're the chief. You're not going to talk to me like that. I'm just telling you what the call says.
I don't appreciate all of this going on and nobody notified me a damn thing about it.
Okay.
Frustrated at being left out of the loop on a critical operation, Chief Johnson confronted Sheriff Amison and his deputies. But what was meant to be a coordinated response to a possible hostage standoff turned into a clash of egos, and the tension escalated when Cleveland County Deputy Lieutenant Szymanski decided to walk away mid-confrontation.
You're not going to talk about chief like that, sir.
That's not going to happen.
You can get the fuck out of my face. I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay? This is my county, too.
Back up, man. Back up.
To control the situation, other Cleveland deputies pulled their lieutenant back and tried to assert their own authority.
Chill out. Back up. Everything's going to be okay. But you need to back up.
I get it that you're you can back up.
Negative.
And in this very moment, their lieutenant showed where these deputies learnt to show dominance. But before the situation could spiral out of control, Chief Johnson ordered his officer to stand down and return to the station. Next is the Californian cop whose drunken antics left his fellow cops no choice but to take action against one of their own.
Dude, I have a fucking law enforcement ID. You, sir, are a disrespect to our profession this evening.
On November 14th, 2020, Scottsdale police were notified of a highly intoxicated man causing disturbances and picking fights at several local bars. And this man was Drew Scott Romo, a Roseville police officer at the time. And the night began with Romo being removed from Whiskey Row for excessive intoxication and aggressive behavior. After being denied entry at INTJ nightclub for the same reasons, officers tried to convince him to call it a night.
You need to go. They don't want you here, so you have to go. It's simple. If you don't want to be in trouble with us, just go. That's it.
Dude, I'm fucking on your side.
They don't want you at the business, so you need to go.
I'm on your fucking side.
I get that, but they don't want you.
I'm on your side, bro. We understand what you do, but you need to.
But Romo refused to back down and kept escalating the situation. When officers intervened again, Romo tried to leverage his badge and claimed his status as a police officer to avoid consequences.
Fucking Arizona. What the fucking... What am I getting on what fucking... What am I...
Taking you out?
What am I...
I'm just trying to keep you out of jail.
No.
You want to be a California cop and be a dick, and you want a chest bump us? You can go ahead and do that. And guess where you're going to end up? In my fucking jail.
Yeah, I want to know where.
You can either calm down and go home.
Eventually, after causing enough of a scene, including an attempt to fight patrons in line at a third bar, officers had no choice but to arrest him.
You're too intoxicated to understand what I'm even telling you.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home.
Oh, now you're gonna go home? You just said you didn't want to go home. Now you want to...
But Romo's behavior didn't improve at the jail either. Once detained, Romo continued his disruptive antics, banging on his cell door and even dialing 911 multiple times without cause.
Fucking breathe.
Okay.
You're a fucking prisoner.
Well, sir, at this current time, you are in a jail facility, and the correct term probably would be prisoner. However, we're trying to get you released, but you're not showing any signs of sobering up that allows us to believe that you can go out and act accordingly in society. From what I understand, you're dialing 911. You're continuously...
I can't breathe, sir.
You're continuously banging on the jail cell doors.
Because I can't breathe. I have anxiety.
I completely understand the anxiety part.
I am sobering up. What do you want me to do?
Well,
I can't breathe.
Remember prior to the George Floyd incident that we got in the habit of saying, if you can talk, you can breathe? Do you remember that?
I understand.
So the fact that you're able to raise your voice, the fact that you're able to bang on a door, the fact that you're able to dial 911 leads me to believe, or a reasonable person to believe, that you are able to get oxygen into your lungs.
Have you ever been trapped in a jail cell?
I have not. I have not made poor decisions enough to wind myself up into this.
What was my poor decision?
It was clear he wouldn't sober up anytime soon. 4 days after his arrest, Romo was fired from the Roseville Police Department. He was later charged with assault and disorderly conduct, though the assault charge was dropped. Until now, officers weren't showing authority to their juniors. But this next sergeant crossed the line when his aggression was turned on one of his own team members.
Don't ever touch me again. Sir. Get the
On November 19th, 2021, a Sunrise, Florida police sergeant crossed every line imaginable during an arrest. Christopher Pulice, a 47-year-old sergeant, turned on his own team while dealing with a resisting suspect. And this all started with the officers struggling to get the suspect into the patrol car.
Miss, can you stop pulling the cuffs?
Just get in the car and you'll be fine.
Get in the car. Get in the car. Put in the cuff on my wrist. Once you get in the car, she'll let...
At this very moment, Sergeant Pulice stepped into the scene and pulled out his pepper spray. While this scene has already escalated, what happens next makes it worse.
Get in the car.
All right, I'm getting in.
Get your feet in. What's up? Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You want to play games? You're playing with the wrong mother...
One of the junior officers realized Pulice was out of control and the situation needed to be de-escalated. She pulled him back to prevent the sergeant from going too far. But this move turned the officer's rage towards her own self.
Do what you gotta do.
No. Just let it be.
As Pulice grabbed her by the throat, he threatened her with pepper spray. And since no officers protested at the moment, the sergeant tried to show his authority once again.
We clear?
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Pulice was later charged with multiple crimes, including battery, assault on a law enforcement officer, and tampering with evidence for deleting threatening messages sent to witnesses. Coming up in the next case is a chief who undermined his own officer over the lamest reason.
Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. You have a problem? Fuck. You grabbed me.
On November 9th, 2023, Bradley Beach police officers stopped a car for a suspected DUI. But this wasn't going to be a routine traffic stop. Out of nowhere, the department's chief, Leonard Gita, showed up off-duty, casually dressed, and reportedly intoxicated.
Why do you gotta check it on the It's not fit to be worn. What's on the back of it?
What do you mean?
Look at it, tell me what's on the back of it.
Oh, they washed off.
Yeah, then get rid of it.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
You're a sergeant, for God's sake.
Okay, Chief.
Chief Guida immediately turned his attention to Sergeant William Major, but not to assist. He wanted to criticize the sergeant over his jacket, which had peeling police lettering. While the sergeant tried to stay focused on the DUI investigation, the chief kept pushing.
Chief, I'm on a DWI.
Over here.
Chief, I'm on a DWI.
Get over here.
I'm on a DWI. Chief, I'm working. I don't have time to argue about it.
But the chief refused to let the matter go. He confronted Major repeatedly until things got physical. That is when the sergeant, visibly fed up, slammed the chief onto the hood of a patrol car, and it looked like the chief didn't want matters to be under control.
No, you're gonna go in. Drunk again.
Even after this altercation, the chief refused to back down. Major accused him of being drunk and interfering with police work. But when the chief tried to flex his authority, the sergeant didn't back down.
Get out of here.
No.
Chief, get out of here or you're gonna get locked up.
No,
Chief, you're gonna get locked up. You grabbed me.
But Guida wasn't done. He continued to assert his authority, citing rules that seemed to come out of nowhere.
Billy, you're not doing anything when I'm on the scene, okay? You should know better than this, my friend.
No.
Finally, Chief Guida tried to suspend Major on the spot, claiming he was relieved of duty.
Billy, you have to understand something. You're relieved. Billy, you're relieved. Go in the headquarters and wait for me.
After my crash.
No, Billy, you're relieved.
I have
Billy.
officers here.
Billy.
Right here. They could get waffle because my car is
Billy.
blocking it.
Billy, you're relieved.
No, Chief.
No, Billy. Please, Billy, don't. You're suspended, Billy.
I'm suspended?
Yes.
The sergeant didn't give him the satisfaction and chose to leave the scene calmly. But as you watch further, you'll see Guida targeting junior officers and pressuring them into backing his version of events.
See what happened there?
Yes, Chief.
What happened?
There's some type of exchange between you and Sergeant Major.
Well, we're going to talk about that later. Everybody's got that. Billy's suspended. You already got this. What do you have here? What do you have?
We're trying to figure that out, Chief.
In the aftermath, Sergeant Major was back at work the next day. Meanwhile, Chief Guida was placed on administrative leave with pay as investigations began, and his actions left a permanent mark on his reputation. If you've stuck with us till now, you're definitely a true crime fan. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.